Hello guys, this is a really quick tutorial on how to use the wdI file that you are supposed to be doing during week 9. As you can see, this is a big file, it's 95 megabytes, which has a lot of information. And when you have so much information in a spreadsheet, the best way to work with it is through filters. So on the tabs that you see at the bottom, have data, country series, and they have a lot of information. What we're going to do, so we're going to go to data, and here we have by country, because it's sorted out alphabetically with each country, we need to create some filters. The best way to sort and kind of like filter information is creating a filter on one of the columns. So that's pretty simple. Our task is to get the electricity production from renewable sources, excluding hydroelectric kWh, from the last 6 years for all countries. So this is very, very simple. The indicator name is the one that we need to use. So I'm going to click on that column, and then I'm going to click on filter, and I'm going to create a filter for this, okay? And I'm gonna just deselect the filter that I'm using and look for renewable energy. Okay. So you can see we have renewable energy, and we're using for renewable Okay, so actually is electricity production, okay? And here's the one that we're looking for. Electricity production from renewable sources, excluding hydroelectric kWh. And this indicator is very important because most of the countries don't have that. We use in Colombia hydroelectricity. So here, when you filter this, you're gonna have all the countries with this indicator, and then you can scroll all the way to the right, and as you can see, there's a bunch of information that we can use for this. Okay, so they're looking at the last 6 years that actually have data. So if you go, you might see 2013. So we have data from this wdI from 2013. So you want to grab the last 6 years, and it says the last 6 years for all countries, and create a new file only with this data. Since this file is so big, I'm gonna ask you to just copy and paste this one, and do that every time that you get a new one, okay? So you're just gonna select all your information, and we're gonna put it in a new file. This is the easiest way because you can see that the computer sometimes becomes very slow just because this file is super big. So we're only going to copy these, and I'm gonna put them into a new file. That way we can make it easier to work with, okay? So now it's easy to play with it and copy and paste it. After this, you can start working with other formulas, okay? One of them can be the average, so you can make the average of the last 6 years. So you want to make an average from 2007 to 2013, and here you can see the electricity production, and you can get it for all of them, okay, for all the info that we need. Okay, now you want to take away these errors because they're dividing by 0. You don't want that, okay, on your filter. Now what you want to analyze is, after you have this filter, you can make a sorting. You can sort this column and make sure that everything changes in the other columns. So you can sort from least to greatest, or smallest to largest, and make sure to expand the selection, okay? And that way we can see which ones have 0 or marked 0 as an indicator, and then we can choose the numbers. Now you can use other formulas in order to know what is the 10% of the countries that use less renewable energy according to the average. So you want to use, or you can use another formula called count. And these don't have anything, so this is divided by 0. So you want to take these away. And you can count how many numbers, how many countries do we have. So if you type in count, this will count the number of cells in a range that contains numbers, okay? So you can use count, and you want to count this column because you want a number in it. So we have 186 countries that actually have an indicator. Now you can find the 10% of 186 and count what is the 10% of the countries that have less. So I think this is the way that you need to start analyzing the data instead of just looking at it and scrolling up and down. You need to use the functions and you need to use the formulas. Okay? Now remember that there are 10 points for one thing, there are 10 points for the second activity. Then you have to categorize these countries in 3. Name these 3 categories as you wish. Use categories to help you understand their renewable energy usage. So here we can start making conditional statements, okay? And the conditional statement is very, very simple. If you want to create a category, you can make categories depending on the 3, probably 3 ranges of numbers, okay? So you can say if this country is low, medium, or high. For example, if I say if this country is, this value is less than, I don't know, let's say this number, okay? If this value is less than that number, then type in low. Okay? Then I can create another conditional statement. So if it's not true, then you can say it's high. So this is a conditional statement. And it's very simple because this is the condition that I want to meet. If this value is less than this value, then type in low or show me low. If it's not this, then do this. So it's a very simple conditional statement. We are also going to work with nested conditions that we will see later on. So for this category, you can divide them in 2, low and high. You can add an extra one if you want to put like medium, okay? Let's see what happened here. Oh. Guys, if you have the English version, it's not semicolons, just a comma to make it work. So now, since this is a 0, it's going to show me low, and we'll see where it starts making it a bit high. Okay, so you see, all these numbers are high because I had a number where they changed. If it's lower than this number, it goes to low, and then it changes to high. So this is a conditional statement. We can use that in order to categorize. You can use any name, but you have to use the name for the categories, okay? Also, add use other indicators from the wdI to filter your decision down to 5 countries. This is important because you're going to need other criteria in order to make this really well. So it's important that you write down what are the other categories, put them in different tabs. You can use a different tab for the other ones, okay, for the other indicators, and start making conclusions, okay? So you're gonna make a last conclusion of which country you would like to invest and why. So be careful, and you have to be well prepared for this, okay? So good luck.